So your agency has been invited to compete for a really big account, one that's going to potentially change the future of your agency. And so what do? You're excited. You come back. You start immediately working on the presentation. Stop. The first step is always to check and make sure that they are really interested in your agency. For example, do you know people at the client? If so, you call them immediately and ask them why you were included. Your chances of winning are pretty good if you've got a sponsor, a champion to advocating for you when they're making the decision. Unless they say something like, I had to fight really hard to get you included, which means there's a lot of people that are not very interested in having you be the agency, and that may be a reason not to participate. If you don't know anyone, you still call. If they won't respond, let me just suggest that that's a bad sign. If they do respond, make sure you listen very carefully. They say something like, well, Mary Smith works for us now, and she used to work at XYZ company, and you were her agency, and she said you were great. Well, okay, you've got an advocate that you didn't know you had. On the other hand, if they say something like, well, we read that you had experience in our category, you're probably not really on the list. You're probably the proverbial extra man at dinner, okay? And you probably should pass. An interesting test when you have doubts is to demur. That is, say to them, listen, we're so busy with our current clients that we really don't have time to do justice to a good presentation. And see how they respond. If they start trying to argue and beg you to stay in the review, chances are pretty good they're pretty interested. On the other hand, if they say, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, well, you know what? You just saved yourself a lot of time, money, and work. Doing this will not necessarily guarantee you're going to win, but at least it will help you feel that the playing field is level.